Johannes Vermeer was born in 1632 in Delft in the Dutch Republic, present-day Netherlands. He was born into a middle-class family and took charge of his father's art-dealing career on his death. Vermeer married Catharina Boons in 1653 and had 14 children with her. Though Vermeer was a popular painter in his day, he made few paintings, and even upon his death in 1675 left his family in debt. Vermeer is remembered for his paintings of indoor domestic scenes, and particularly window-thrown light and how it affected shadows. This painting, The Pure Caress, is believed to include Vermeer's self-portrait as the figure on the left. Lady Writing a Letter with Her Maid, oil on canvas, 1670–71. The picture depicts a young mistress rapidly writing a letter, her maid standing behind her, lost in thought. Though the scene appears calm, the crumpled parchment in the foreground, which the maid has not cleaned, suggests startling news may have just been received. The empty chair could represent an absent person, perhaps who the mistress is writing to. The biblical context of the scene is shown in the representation of the finding of Moses on the wall behind. The maid is standing just as Moses' sister stood, and will play the same role as her, as messenger of the letter. This painting is Baroque because of the produced drama and tension of the scene, and the subtle use of religious theme in the background with the recreated painting of the finding of Moses. The Milkmaid, oil on canvas, 1658–1661. The painting depicts a common servant pouring milk into a Dutch oven to create a simple dish, likely bread pudding. Vermeer uses the hanging basket and pail in the corner, as well as the white expanse to the maid's left, to draw the thematic center of this piece to the pouring milk. The statement Vermeer makes in this piece is the beauty and simplicity of domestic work. The maid uses the crumble of most likely stale bread next to her to create a new dish, wasting nothing. The simple ingredients the maid uses, along with the conditions of the cold, bare room, as evidenced by the heat box in the right corner, takes a commonplace event and poses it as a moment of social unyielding, that yet despite the maid's position, she works on attentively. The piece conveys the Baroque art style in its depiction of both movement in the pouring milk and space in the white walls, as well as stressing the realism of everyday life. Officer and Laughing Girl, oil on canvas, 1655–1660. This piece is a play on light and dark. The girl, laughing happily and holding a glass of wine, is portrayed as the protagonist in a full beam of sunlight with her hand extended openly. Meanwhile, the officer collar sits in shadow, with one hand unrevealed and the other curled in darkness. While his hat hides his expression, the girl's hat is angled forward to carefully outline hers. Vermeer angles the pair so it appears they may easily touch, yet also employs the use of negative space in the white wall to separate them. The map on the wall may signify that the girl boasts of worldly knowledge, and has the protection of her nation behind her, as her dress clearly indicates she is of the upper class. In regard to the officer, it could signify as plotting towards the girl, which may not be the most honorable of intentions. The piece is Baroque by its dramatic context and use of everyday scenes.